Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vol, and in this video we're having a look at how we can dice objects to add additional geometry. So I'll just put this working in the background. I'm going to use hard ops and box cutter for this because it makes it vastly quicker, and I don't want to have to bother with quad topology because this is going to be a solid object. Maybe it's an armor panel, maybe it's a van brace or something else that we need to flex and deform, and that's why we need to add geometry to this. But we don't want to have to worry about quad topology because it's not going to be animated in any way, and it's just really not necessary. So what I'm going to do is G and X, and we're going to bring one over here to demonstrate why this is potentially an issue, and then we'll talk about our solutions. So let's do one there, and then we'll do two more over here so we can talk through this, and we'll look at a paid for option that's going to be a bit more efficient, but we'll also talk about how we can do this free just using Blender's native tools. So let's say we want to flex this because it's going to go around a model or character's arm. We're going to go to Add Modifier, we're going to go to Simple Deform, and we're going to say that we want to bend this in the Z-axis, and we want this to flex round, and you'll notice it's not flexing very nicely. It's like bit rounded here, very sharp here, and this isn't working, and we've got all these horrible triangulations and issues, and this just really is a mess. Look at it. And there's a reason for this, and that reason is that we don't have enough geometry, if we go into face mode, for this to flex around. We need more edges. Using quad topology would be an answer to this, but I can't even be bothered for the sake of the demonstration to set this up as quad topology because, well, it's just a bit tedious to do. It's just not really needed. What we instead need to do is just add, if we want to flex it in this direction, a load of vertical lines, but because we've applied all of these booleans, which we didn't need to do, but we have done, what we can't do is just add in edge loops here. It won't work if I hit Control and R. It would just work on this top surface where there are quads. So we need another way of doing this. And luckily, we have got hard ops, which is a paid for add-on, which will do this all for us. All we do is, actually let's come so we can see this at the side. All we do is hit Q for the hard ops menu. You'll notice this has loads of other tools. It's a very useful add-on if you haven't got it. Mesh tools and dice. And we get this wireframing. If I move my mouse, I can change direction. I could also type that in as well to add multiple directions, and I can scroll up to make this as dense as I need it to be. Now, this does cause, if we just click and do this does cause one issue, which this is a destructive process. So we have to do this destructively, whereas using quad geometry, there is an option where we can just subdivide this and it wouldn't need to be destructive. So there are benefits to this quad process, but I don't really care about this being destructive. I know that I'm ready to go with this. So to demonstrate then, add modifier, simple deform again. We want this to bend it, we want it in the Z-axis, and now you can see we get this very, very nice, smooth flex to put this around an arm or whatever we need it to be. Brilliant. That's all we needed. If we're 3D printing, we can 3D print from this because we don't care about Add Ons, or we can add materials to it if we're doing it for some other purpose. Great, we're good to go. Now, I will quickly add that sometimes we want to flex this in more than one direction. So while this is great because it adds in very little geometry for the process, whereas using quads and subdivision surfaces adds in a lot of geometry, sometimes we do need to do this in multiple directions, and we can do that very easily with this. So just Q for the menu, mesh tools, dice, and then as well as that, we want it in the Z direction. So I'm going to hit Z, and now you can see we get these, and they're perfectly cubed. We do need to make sure we apply the scale for that to work, and then I can just click, and then now we've got this geometry all in these nice little cubes. Notice we do have Add Ons here, so this is worth mentioning, but it's not going to be a problem for what we're doing. And then once again, simple deform, and then I can do this, bending it on the Z-axis if I want to, or if I realize that I want to do it on the other axis or a different axis, I could do this on X instead, and it will still work. Let's make that a little bit less extreme, or I could come here and we could duplicate that and then change that to the Z, and then suddenly we get this really cool flexing around a sort of sphere. Let's maybe make that a little bit less and a little bit less here, so that we've got something that maybe could work on like a shoulder pad or something like that. So this works really well. It's very quick, very easy to do, has no horrible stretch lines, and it's going to print really nicely. Now, But let's have a look at how we can do this for free, and we can do this just using Blender's native tools. It's a bit more long-winded, but nothing criminally bad. I wouldn't say to go out and buy hard ops just for this option. That would be a total waste of money in my opinion. So what we're going to do is add in a plane. We're going to S to scale it up to be about the right size, and I'm going to G and then just bring this across to my object somewhere there. We might need to scale this a bit more just to get it the right size. R and then X and then 90 so that it's facing it, and then let's just G and then Y to bring this forward a little bit. So somewhere here. Now what we need to do is introduce all of these lines. So I'm going to go into edge mode or any edit mode, Control and R, and just scroll up. So we can make this as dense or as lacking in density as we want. Let's go somewhere about there. I'm just scrolling up on my mouse wheel to change this using Control R, which adds in these edge loops. Let's click there, and then we can have the option to move these around. We don't want to do that, so we're just going to left click, and we've got this in place. And if we realize we need to change it so we can come around and have a look at it, I can still fiddle around with this. If you've got this quite small, you can open it here and change how big or small these are going to be. So let's go with 30, and we'll leave it there. Now, the problem at this point is these edges can't easily be translated onto this object as they are. So what we're going to do is go into face mode, A, and we're going to get rid of half of these faces. So we're going to go to select, check a deselect, and then we're just going to press X and then delete faces. And now we've got this like stripy pattern. Back into object mode, I'm using machine tools for this pie menu. It just makes it easier for everything to be seen. I do really recommend machine tools. It's a great add-on, but you don't need it for this. I just like it so that you can see what I'm doing. We need to firstly come so that we're looking flat on. I'll demonstrate this Y in a second. We're going to click on our object, go into face mode, and then I'm going to control click on our series of stripes. Then we're going to go to mesh, knife project, and it's going to send these edges through this object. But actually at this point, it's only going on one side. We need to click this cut through option, and now it goes all the way through to the other side. Once you've done that, you can delete this out, and we've got our geometry there, so this will work perfectly fine. Oh, actually, let's just demonstrate one other thing. I'm going to go back several stages. What we do need to make sure we do, control click on here, is that we don't have this at some weird angle, like if I'm here. This works off your view. So if I go to mesh and then knife project here, it's done this in a bizarre way. We don't want that. So you do need to make sure you're facing this flat on, and then mesh, knife project, and then we're good to go. So delete that out. We've got all of our geometry here, and then we're just going to go to simple deform, just as we did before. We want to do this as a bend on the Z-axis. There we go. It's working great. But what if we want to do this? What if we want to flex it in multiple directions? Well, we can do that as well. It's exactly the same trick, except for this, I'm going to Shift A, mesh, and I'm going to bring it in a grid. You can just do this with the plane and do that same trick of Control and R for the edge loops again, but we've got the option for a grid. Note I've got loads of extra options, but we can get a grid. Let's S to scale it up. Okay, I've got about 20 subdivisions on this. Actually, let's go back and we'll just do that one more time again. So Shift A and then grid. You see we've got the options here of how subdivided we want this to be. In fact, let's turn this to 30. So it's about the same size as it was before. And what that's doing, sorry, because it's inside this object, is that it's creating these subdivisions here. So let's just S to scale this up again. Get it to about the right size. G and then X this across. So we're here. Oh, might need scaling up a bit more. There we go. R, X, 90. Yep, that will do. G and then Y it forward a bit. Go into face mode. A to select everything. Select, check a deselect, and it will select everything correctly, like a chessboard, or, well, I guess a checkerboard. That's probably why it's called check a deselect. And then we will X, delete faces, and we've got exactly the same thing going on as with our lines, except for now we've got this chessboard effect. So we'll select there, face on so that we get the knife project working well, go into face mode, control click here, mesh, knife project, and then we've got the cut through, so that will have worked fine. Let's hide the grid. We can see that we've got this working very nicely. Though do note that this wasn't perfectly centered, which is one of the really nice things about hard ops, is it will pretty much center it perfectly as long as the origin's in the right place. And then we're going to go to simple deform again, bend, z-axis, and then we can flex this round, or because we've now got this in both directions, we could change this to the x-axis to flex it in the other way, or we could do this on both. So let's just turn that to Z. So there we go, a free and a paid for method of adding some additional geometry through dicing to our objects, allowing us to deform them a little bit more easily. If you found that useful, please do hit the like button. It really helps me out with things like the YouTube algorithms and showing more people the videos, so they have the option to click on it. There is an affiliate link in the description for hard ops, so if it is something that's pushing you over the edge into buying it, I'd really appreciate if you use that because it puts a few dollars towards the channel. Or alternatively, if you want to support the channel in another way, we've got a Patreon page where for a few dollars a month you get these videos ad-free, a week early, and other great perks as well. Have a great day, guys.